and I'm foul. What the what can I say? And call for no my infa. The Madrid team we dear. We be able to make a
Awo. Rich, me also feel no too kakra. Na bibi kakra bi e wo kan ya because Megidi said the most difficult part of the quarterfinals, and the semi-finals, the analysis before the game. You never gave New Year just a commentary on what you saw, and you be giddy and once and a year Babeka. Rich, say you 4 semi-finalists. Emumienu ebekwa kopiem ewo money for the Champions League final. And it is because of these results in the second leg of the Champions League. Inti NA say offer the Champions League chart now. From time I hear draw no ABC and no. Rich, there is now Arsenal, Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, Inter, and now do the semi-finals of the Champions League, and these are your last 4. Determine the last 2, then why and ebeje the Champions League. Now let's start the conversation from game near Koso Ewo the Santiago Bernabeu. First of all, Rich, you look at the overall numbers now, and the indication no, and they say, Rich, Enra, tactically, Arsenal dominated Real Madrid. The underlying word they say, tactically, Arsenal dominated Real Madrid. Now, me also be share on Facebook. I say, Ayala, what opta analysis statistics that at the end of the day, I say Real Madrid about 66% to Arsenal 34%. And then in a game where Obi about 66%, now Obi about 34%. Who can say they are about 34%? No, I control the game no tactically. Rich, there are 2 forms in tactically who dominate the game. Bako I say wo je ball na ball na wo dominate. The etosu mienu I say you are allowing your opponent to play, but you are in a very, very good shape. Say they can't penetrate you and cause you any harm. And Rich, out of the 66% now, Real Madrid boy, you know. That is the reason why say a shot on target. They played 3, Arsenal about 6 with almost 34. No? Overall shot, yes, Real Madrid boy 18-11. But so possessing overshot, over beyond target in the Rich. It cumulates into expected goals. I bet in Yasha with Bwana Obo in Rich. Real Madrid now was 66%, you know. An SG of 1.5. Arsenal was 2.05. What these numbers means, and they say, and the Obibeka said the ultimate statistics, Rich, the goals, you know. Share 1, share 2. Now, Ubesa go deeper into the analysis. Rich, go now, Real Madrid say, you know, what's a gift? And Real Madrid 66% no mo any nyina. Rich, Saliba and Chobu Goa. And I am busy for nothing 66%. And we also cross say Saliba go no chair no. Rich, and na prejo mo SG numpo akọ 1.5 no. And come on you cry.
No, the problem more shot on target.
You see,
Real Madrid.
Na am go for say Abia me Barcelona ni ntia.
Obi kra be can say with the emotions na kasa.
Emotions at this point in my career. No.
I'm so your Barca ni nti. As a do matter that some of the emotions in kwa.
Kobuso mo motimi area. I watch football 24/7. The Bia me football. I have watched Real Madrid every game be Madrid about this season, Mashebi. Even including the Copa del Rey matches. They are also already a new match crown. I watch it. Rich, no mentias which Real Madrid nana omo say Arsenal team na so omo 3 and omo betimi atete. I in all honesty look, Yemfa grown to nja. This current Real Madrid team doesn't have what it takes. So omo be Arsenal in all phases of the game. And yes, I've said this even before we play the games. Now, Rich, let's visit the actions in the game. Look, Bukayo Saka first penalty no boy anything. Adabraka. And I was so shocked. Rich, watch a 3. What uko bi home no o gele num se obetete nyame ayewadom uko no, you've not been overwhelmed by the atmosphere and what me calm game down quickly and a ubo game now wona any pakon so obeteka no anya penalty and I disagree with you say bono and I want to say bono anya penalty.
Oh, no, penalty. It was a clear penalty. It was a clear penalty.
I think play business so he will learn. Learning curve the man. But we also became no, you don't do that, especially not under the era of VAR. But Rich, at the end of Bukayo Saka so infantile. I am cropping at to cry. And look, minim say Courtois, me show that memory of him with penalties there. But Rich, he's a very, very good goalkeeper. And it's almost our Shani. Don't joke with Courtois. Me I saw say Bukayo Saka today will tell his friends say, Masa, manyadi ekra. But Rich, he was to redeem himself. He was. And he scored a classic chip. Look at the chip. Now, and yet, go now, Bukayo share na me focus o. Which they build up to the goal. And I saw build up 20. And now me catch now say Madrid do not have a chance against Arsenal. Look at how they were like omutimi pass omo ebie omu just slotted in the pass and a chip. That is Madrid for you. Teams are any the quality of Arsenal crown. I've been able to play this way against Madrid. Not any team my friend Arsenal. And Rich, so what time Bukayo Saka go now? You could clearly see say I had to say some bad in no because what could say penalty on say and one will be a can was him. Now, Rich, what was wrong with Saliba? And go for BCO. Ayala, can't we blame Raya too? Because the Rihanna game in the Sikoro, he needed to play simple. Then some person or started from a chair, and they are talking about this throw from David Raya. Bossime. But Rich, he thought say William Saliba ask can pitch no, and him what is around him. And it's a the boy manner. Obey obey. Not know we know. Rich, Saliba lost concentration, and Emre can say Arsenal. They must do very well, and they say within the 90 minutes of the game, they should never lose concentration. Rich, throughout the game, the only time Arsenal lost concentration was this incident, and they were made to pay for it. Now, Vinicius say, Rich, now, very free. Then he say, okay, we just need one goal. He didn't know, say, Rich, this was going to be the face of Courtois, Gabriel Martinelli. Rich, look, Real Madrid ni bi oka ne krabia anopai o meka ye ho no onyintum say Arsenal team no mu hia ye no na omo no the better side out of the two legs. It is as simple as that. and onion to say this Real Madrid team, even though they have history of winning 15 times the Champions League, Rich, this is not one of the teams that can win the Champions League. They need to do more for that team way. Say team winning the Champions League. And Rich, when you Casatin team Arsenal has shown said they were a better team at Real Madrid over the 2 legs. And Omu deserving whatever it takes. Omu ebetima komanium. Now, I'm probably sorry na many pa Arsenal be frame no say. Ayala na uko redo no so. Me we see na so nte say Real Madrid enche Arsenal da. And I'm see o mate. Me ba beka. And Rich no in 4 games. Real Madrid only 1 draw, 2 losses, 3 losses against team your friend Arsenal. And you can see just say Rich, Arsenal as a Real Madrid home and away in this tie. That is the record. Home and away. And see Remontada, you better stadium mumu, you know mama feeling the heat. You know. They were beating at the Santiago Bernabeu. Bo and you know catch you say, we will have to do Adam catch you say. Ya kwa say more but po. I am shame for the Real Madrid area, but Arsenal are very, very cool.
Now they are not if we idiot.
Rich.
If I come back 25. Or can't baby ma
Rich. So I come back 25 and my year. Na a mudu sign and a free training labor.
Okay.
And a mudu saying and now it was against this quality Arsenal team. Rich Arsenal team now and yet trust how.
And no Musa.
How many ball? I'm telling you.
Musa was an has an league. And Ateta.
So you see, Sir Pep Guardiola mo banon beka say league neji at Champions League. You so many on yadring.
Because Arsenal game on bo pass still.
That is how it is. Rich. And Hurricane say any scare. And see, Hurricane share go away now. And I'm saying, Bayern for say results be our mania was 0 against Inter in the Champions League. And make sure say free. Is that what they are going to do? Rich, but you go to San Siro as Inter home, and Uchu time, this guy will have a say in the game. Lautaro Martinez. What will you go on say? You know? Look, I have purely striker's instinct. Oh, I say, Nenya break ball never told no. Or Heady, you know, Abu Kimmich, he kept his focus on the ball, and within some microseconds, follow it up with a shot. So instinctive in the box. This is a striker. This is a striker. Ojina box cinema, Nini Brigo Ankasa. That is what he's focused on. Now, Rich, and now I quickly went to X to tweet about Benjamin Pavard. Football stories in the interesting. Pavard is a former Bayern player. So when he was Rich. And on the day that Bayern na on best on me bibi no, it took their former player to dash their hopes. Corner kick. Ye peja bona. Oma who may be a Pavard free. Panyan. Bona show. And at 2-1, Rich. There that's one answer. El Dyer scored a very, very nice goal. From that angle, yes, you can blame Jan Soma Kakra, but me so say on yes, so say there bit my heady ball from that position into the goal. But Rich, the coach say Inter, Jumano the Alliance Arena, and even with the draw San Siro, they were good to go. Say Omu ebetimi a qualify at the Akomanim. Now, Rich, this is it. And Enra, me catch on me busa question me. Mami busa na afi yemrefi ni medinko. And I told you, say, you know, we will put Arsenal here, we will put Inter here. Now, this is my question. Rich, football and Komo. Yet I can jargons be of football, am I a timid football command here interesting? First question, I say, Rich, out of the 2 semi-finals, Arsenal, Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, Inter. Matches in the and I say ties in the and to you. Any tier for you can bring your message. And yet the final before the final. Which of the 2 ties?
Barcelona Inter.
And to you.
To me.
and they had the final before the final.
Sure.
So it means that you believe that the obeying the young question
likely obey
likely on obeji.
Likely. Kofi so be also the one with the 2 ties, you know.
Then
final before the final.
Describing as the final before the final.
By Barca Inter.
Barca Inter.
Barca for no news on Inter
game na di on.
And Ayala only bibi. Sa fa o side on. One of the coaches Ebeje Champions League for the very first time in about 10 years for either of the teams. Barca, I think the last time Moko here about 8 years ago, final to 10 years they win. Inter a funny story. 2 years ago, final.
Yeah.
Last year, Atletico was a city in a year free. Now they are coming back again. On the other side, first timers.
You see, minimum hold a different view, and I will tell you why. A woman said, "Team Barcelona, and I would love Barca to win a Champions League, no doubt about it." But Rich, there's something telling me, say, Munich as a stadium, Allianz Arena, a history of churning out first-time winners of the Champions League. It was our record, no. Obi nyibida, Yakuwa na say, Obi on nyibida, no. Again, Rich, Champions League, no. Say, who qualify for first final? I want time. But if you go and taste the defeats in the final, and you get another opportunity, you win it. Man City ever chance adieno, Chelsea ever chance adieno. Now, Rich, minimum say Arsenal ball final na check in Rome. Yeah, therefore and I am on Man City, Paris Saint-Germain and see a boy against Bayern, and a Kingsley Coman, pa, and a Bayern for the coy. Rich, I hear me say any of these two teams, you know. The other qualifiable final, no matter what we shall. Rich, I am say this is one of the years that we will get a new winner of the Champions League. That is how I feel.
In Arsenal
or Paris Saint-Germain. The other team, you could say Kim, Rich, I think Munich will smile at that person.
Okay.
And elect another first-time winner, especially when both teams tasted defeat in the final before.
Okay.
And your first time winners are Omunko final that Omunko and Yasha. They will get an opportunity to go again. Rich, I think we will have the final, the winner from this side.
But
even though me
Arsenal PH in a bear for
me a strong Barcelona, that Thomas step at 10 right then and Rich, yeah, that party miss of the first leg can be very, 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 very crucial for Sata. Which of the ties and the final before the final? Ubet me a message about Richie and Fantrans.
Okay. If I'm referring now, you may difference on common. Okay, if I couldn't to Ghana. And I Oguma Samo Hakakin. And open me one voice na Achima see and Nasibia can say. Watch it, Lions for na Carlos for no. They are very young and they can run. It is a Kotoko per se. How many are Carlos game no? Result don't be yan a quay the moment. Yeah. When you say young players that they can also run. And so Tioguma or say, and no idea Costo Kotoko. Am I show my trainer? I think go for net beer. I want to take Kotoko for no. Kanta. No players in Olympic Gane.
Almost no.
I'm a boat to a match. Papa, Neda go pushing him. Into Yabania Behe. Abakawa town so called Diana Doma. I say, as Uncle football. Then you, Omugo. Has a phone said yes, now you're coach, you know. Oh, catch us our Uncle for into one on Ranta Muko body. Why you training before Mukobo game? No, it's Yabana in Nanya Babashe. Oh, Finty, Ayala than the code, no. And I'm a summer security code and so. My catch him so China. Easter Friday, Nash, I say a China. I didn't see maybe a Easter and Sukushi, the 17 years will be especially any year. A bad man, a Bosumia Juma's can be no, and now Timmy Samane, Sikana, you know, 100 dB. Yet 20 million are 6. You have a chance to see and to start 281 us, start 281 us. choose your option 2 uka one take the bia abeto 5 series ye becha 2006 woni mre ne pesika ne bidi na Easter yi nyame yadoma Easter Monday family party e beba so ratu party unya 2000 abetimi ne abusua ni nyina maba na maba jimani enso ntia ye fa code 2 dana ye ni fie nkomo no
first one no e 2 codes per first one no e 1B5 35 E0C 1B5 35 E0C and a second one no enso e 1B5 36 838 1B5 36 838 we 2 bet we course ofa na otimi e de aye de obetimi e de rich